Cox re-breaking. What happened to that horse?
The Cox juice is flowing today, boys.
Hey, now let's see if the Cox juice is flowing today as well. Thank you for joining Racing Dudes Live. We are covering the massive Kentucky Derby, Kentucky Oaks prep action. With me is Mike Somich, Andrew Champagne, Vinny Blonde. You know who we are. You know what we're all about, and that's making money, getting drunk, having fun, betting on the horses. We've also got Aaron Halterman and Jared Welch and some special guests live at Keeneland. We'll go to them, but boys, right now we're just a couple of minutes away from the Santa Anita Oaks, and Mike Somich, this grade 2 race, 100 points to the winner, Kentucky Oaks, and Adari Manor is eligible for it. Does she get it done?
Yeah, you got to think so. I mean, she's towers over this field. You're seeing a short price on here. They're sitting at 2 to 5. It's probably a pretty accurate price here. This race is really just kind of a paid workout to get into the Kentucky Oaks and face a massive field there. I can't wait for the Kentucky Oaks right now. I tweeted out about it yesterday. You got 5 or 6 top tier contenders that are all going to be exciting to see in Kentucky.
Andrew Champagne, thanks for joining us, buddy. Looking at this field, Adari Manor 2 to 5. Is she? Is that the right price for her in this spot?
You told me there were going to be some fun races today, man. I feel like this is false advertising.
We're getting it out of the way.
Unless this one falls flat on her face out of the starting gate, I can't see her losing. If you're looking to play in any sort of value, maybe you punch a cold exacta using that one with Ain't Easy going second off the layoff for D'Amato. That one is 8 to 1, and maybe there's some potential to improve there, but that one would need to run a career best race, and Adari Manor would have to bounce in order for there to be any shot of that one winning. I think you just punch a cold 5-2 exacta and sit back and see what happens.
That's how I saw it. Vinny Blonde, thanks for joining us again on the show. Is that how you see it too, 5-2?
Yeah, that's how I see it too. I would love to go against her at 2 to 5, but I don't see it. I don't even see anybody staying with her early. Like Andrew said, just a paid workout, it seems like.
We are all a bunch of chalk-eating weasels, apparently.
Speaking of paid workouts and chalk-eating weasels, before we get into it here, thanks for joining us on the live show. We went live right after the Shakertown Stakes. Special Golden Kid puts it pretty well. Golden Pal, Jesus Christ. What a crazy effort there. Absolutely just lots of efforts. And yes, Dan says waiting for the second place horse in the Shakertown to cross the finish line before we went live. That's literally what we were doing. We're going in the gates here. 5-2 seems to be everybody's play here. Mike Somich, real quick, long shot bomb. If it's not the 2, who is it?
I'm going 5-3. I'm going to go with the back team. I'm going to go with the back team exactly here. I'm going to play a cold 5-3-2 try though. It's tough to get fancy in this race. You're kind of just trying to get too cute if you're trying to beat the 5 here in my mind.
All right, going in the gate for the grade 2 Santa Anita Oaks. We'll see how they go, gentlemen. Off we go. And good break for Adari Manor there. We'll see. She's not being pushed to the lead. Looks like she's actually going to sit third. Ain't Easy going to take the lead. No, now she's going to go 3 wide here. Let's see what happens because Ain't Easy won the Chandelier Stakes over this course. Going about on the 16th last fall and missed the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies with an injury. She's going to sit with Adari Manor to her outside. Mike, do you like where Adari Manor is sitting there? I
mean, if she's not good enough to win from here, then we got a problem when you're talking about her being one of the Oaks favorites with how good that's turned out. Thought that was some interesting riding there from J.J. Hernandez around the first turn. He clearly intentionally stayed in that 2 or 3 path and wanted to push Adari Manor as far out as possible. We'll see if it matters down the stretch, but interesting bit of race riding there.
I think it's curious that Under the Stars is dead last here as they go up the backstretch. That's a horse with some early speed, and I know maybe they didn't want to push Adari Manor with the stablemate, but it's shocking to see that one this far back.
Well, Adari Manor going to take the lead here, heading into the poker head in front, heading into the far turn. Ain't Easy's fighting back. She's not going to make this easy for her. And then the
Desert Dawn is running a huge race.
What is Desert Dawn doing?
I mean, that's a nice move there.
She's moving.
Is that a nice move, or is Adari Manor just not firing because she's been asked? She's not picking up her feet here.
Wow.
They some change up front. She's in trouble.
Wow.
Yeah,
they have to grind here.
Wow. The other D'Amato at 14 to 1, Desert Dawn.
Wait for it. Where's
the Yaffert? Yaffert rebreak. Come on, Yaffert rebreak.
Oh.
There it is.
Oh,
it's gonna be tight.
Oh no, she didn't do it. She didn't do it.
Wow.
Got the 1. Wow.
Wow. Desert Dawn. 14 to 1. Short field, big price.
Was there anything in the form that could have potentially hinted that was coming? I say no.
You could argue second off of the layoff, second at 3. She's a daughter of Cupid, but no. No, I mean, Ain't Easy whooped her by 6 lengths before. She was 4th behind Under the Stars and Ain't Easy in the Santa Isabel. No, I don't see anything here. Vinny, what about you?
I didn't see anything, but I guess, just gonna red board it. I guess the fact that Adari Manor wasn't 1-9 here might have been a tell that she wasn't it. I mean, a 5-horse field, you're telling me she ends up going off at 3-5.
Which was her morning line, by the way. John White getting the morning line exactly correct there.
But you would think a horse like that was going to get bet down, and the fact that she didn't might have been. I didn't look at the show pool or anything like that, but that could have been a tell that she wasn't fully cranked here. But not a good look for her going into the Oaks.
That's a good look. That's Umbi Rispoli aboard, and Rispoli's leaving for Kentucky after this weekend, and that's just him just kind of waving like, "Gotcha, bitch." On my way out, got a grade 2. I'll see you in the. He'll definitely be riding her in the Kentucky. By the way, an Arizona homebred for H&E Ranch.
Arizona bred. Wow, somewhere JD Fox is smiling wide.
I think he's trying to get through security from Portugal, and I think they just arrested him because he screamed out loud when Desert Dawn got that win. Wow. All right, so I'm going to say we probably did not see the Kentucky Oaks winner here, correct? I think we at least liked Nest a little yesterday in the Ashland better than this.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think Adair Manor's getting the job done. I'm not going to take Desert Dawn in that spot, so we'll see.
All right, let's move on over to the Wood Memorial then. We've got a few minutes to go here. We're over at Aqueduct. Race 8, and Mike Somich, a Morello 9-5 favorite off the 8-5 morning line. Are you surprised that he's not taking more money than that?
No, I'm not. I didn't think Morello was going to go off as a favorite. I still would be surprised if Morello goes off as the favorite. I think Modonegal is going to take some late money here and end up your favorite in this spot. Pletcher shipping up to New York. A lot of hype on this horse. You get Rosario to pick up the mount. It's kind of all systems go here for Modonegal, and if he doesn't get it done, it's going to be a big problem. I'm interested in early voting, though. I think early voting has a real good chance of wire in this field.
Andrew Champagne, what about you, sir?
I really like Modonegal in this spot. I thought this was my best bet of the 3 Derby preps today. Modonegal sort of ran in spurts in the Holy Bull when he was 3rd. To me, that reeked of some inexperience and also reeked of a horse that's still figuring things out, but wants to go as long as humanly possible. You look at Morello, and look, it's tough to argue with 3 for 3, but as the late, great Harvey Pack always said, never bet a horse as the favorite doing something it's never done before. Morello's never gone 2 turns, and this is a significant class jump for this one, too. Not to say Morello can't run well in here, but 9-5 is too short for me, whereas 2-1 on Modonegal is very, very playable. Now, Mike had mentioned early voting as a potential, mild upsetter at 5-2 as the 3rd choice. The Withers did come back well. We saw Un Ojo run very well when he won the Rebel. We saw that day's 4th place finisher run 2nd in the Tampa Bay Derby. That race did age well, but I just don't know if he's good enough to beat Modonegal, who chased White Abario and Simplification home in the Holy Bull, and who has a win at this route of ground last year in the Remsen.
Vinny, what do you think about it?
I agree with Andrew here. I think Modonegal is very playable at 2-1. I agree with Mike that I think Modonegal is going to take some late money here, and he might end up going off the favorite. My one issue with Modonegal is that, in my opinion, he does not handle turning well. He loses ground on turns, and that's what happened in the Holy Bull. He just didn't. By the time he got clear and running straight, it was too late. And that kind of seems to be his habit, is he gets clear just a bit too late. So I'm interested to see what Rosario does from the 1. I actually kind of hope he moves him up a little bit and he's closer to the pace than a lot of people think he should be, so that when they turn for home, he's not caught 5 wide and he can just kind of go up like 2 or 3 path. So
I with that really quick. Pletcher also has long term, and long term's got some early speed. Is it possible long term's the rabbit?
Yeah, I think so. I would think so here.
How about, so since we're talking about long-term, a horse that the preview at racingdudes.com and youtube.com/racingdudes that Jared Welch picked as his long shot underneath, not to win, but he said, look, the horse kind of hits the board a lot and just kind of keeps running. Doesn't have that killer instinct necessarily to win, but he at least will try to hold on. If he gets second, and possibly even if he finishes third and gets 20 points, he could be in the Kentucky Derby. So we could see another maiden go to the Kentucky Derby coming out of this race. And then you've got the command performance in the Bluegrass. So interesting possible scenario.
Let's pump the brakes a little bit on long-term here. I mean, he's 33-1 for a reason. He came home in 26 seconds going a mile after setting a 48-second opening half mile and going 113 to the 6 furlong. So if he goes 48, 113, and then goes 139, he's going to have to make up about 10 lengths as he's quitting to be able to come in second. So the rabbit possibility, I think, is definitely there. But you got to remember last time, early voting in the Withers, he caught a dare I say, a Golden Powell-like break. Like, he just caught an absolute flyer out of the gate. If he's able to do that again, I don't think anyone's going to try and press him around this first turn, because there's not a big run-up into this first turn going a mile and an eighth at Aqueduct.
Oh, I'm sorry. We are getting closer to here. Let us know in the chat, by the way. We want to hear from you guys as well. What you think. Mike, you actually, let's talk about, Chris Mello brings up the 6, Skippy Longstocking. Saffie Joseph Jr. has 2 horses in here. This one and AP Secret. You considered Skippy Longstocking live at 15-1. Talk about the horse a little bit.
Yeah, this is a horse that's kind of gotten better as they've gotten longer. The best race is that last race going a mile and an eighth. The horse was an impressive winner in that. If you look 2 back, faced In Due Time, Ironworks, and American Icon in that allowance that we talked about quite a bit, Magic, on the Magic Mike show. So that one's a big-time allowance, 2 back, comes back, goes a mile and an eighth for the first time, improves nicely, should be able to sit behind the pace here and kind of get first runs, going to be closer up than what you're going to see Mo Donegal. So if the pace comes back, I think Skippy Longstocking might get first run at a big number, and then Mo Donegal is going to want to try to chase him down. So I think the 6 is live here at a price, especially at that 15-1 number, and with all the early pace that you have in this race.
Gentlemen, Andrew, Vinny, do you have any thoughts on Skippy Longstocking?
I thought Skippy Longstocking would be the most likely beneficiary if they went far faster than we think they're going to go early on. I just don't think he's going to get the kind of pace that he needs in order to get the job done here. I liked AP Secret a fair bit last time out in the Fountain of Youth. Maybe he wasn't good enough. Maybe he just got spooked by the general chaos and mayhem that happened to his inside. Thanks a lot, Paco Lopez. I think we'll see if this horse is anywhere close to this caliber in this particular spot. If you liked him last time at 31-1, you're getting 49-1 now. And that race 2 back, that was fine. He earned an 80 buyer speed figure. It's not like there's nothing to like with that one at a gigantic price if you're looking for a horse to fill out your tries and supers in the 3rd or 4th spot.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, Andrew. I actually really like.
We're
I
agreeing
actually, if of the 2, I don't like Saffie out of Florida. If he beats me, he beats me. That's just my opinion.
I made a lot of money taking that stance last summer at Saratoga.
Yeah, but at 49-1, I would much rather use AP Secret than the 6. But we'll see. I'm keying. I have Mo Donegal keyed over a few here, so.
Me too.
Yep.
Yeah, Mo Donegal to me seems like the horse to beat. Still 2-1.
Yeah, Mo Donegal. So we're going in the gate here for the Grade 1 Memorial, going a mile and an eighth. I've got Mo Donegal on top. Sounds like Vinny and Andrew there. Mike, your final on top play here.
Oh, early voting is going to wire this field. I think Mo Donegal is going to run up in second, but not have quite enough time to get to early voting.
It's definitely not. It's not Keeneland, which is ironic. Keeneland's got the weather we thought that Aqueduct might have today, and no speed holding on the dirt at Keeneland, it seems. But it seems like Aqueduct good speed is holding, so you definitely got good speed there. I did see someone in the chat bring up anyone concerned about how awful Chad Brown has been at Aqueduct. Maybe his better horses are at Keeneland today. I'm not too concerned. I take each horse kind of individually.
Well, we know that early voting likes this track too, so that's definitely a positive.
Maybe not the gate so much right now, but
yeah, not the gate. And Chad's been okay at Aqueduct. I mean, he is 5 for 8 with 2 places so far coming into this meet. So that's not so bad, hitting 7 of your first 8 horses at a meet in first or second.
All right, last horse going in the gate here, gentlemen. We are going to go off for the Wood Memorial. Good luck. Let's see how this goes. Get a clean break. Yeah, well, and Mo Donegal pushed right over to the rail by the 2 horse. That was nice, golden code. There you go, Mike. You got early voting going right to the lead. That's exactly what you wanted to see here.
Yep, no one's pressuring him either. That's pretty much everything that you could want if you're early voting. Now it's going to be all about these fractions. It doesn't look like anyone's going to press up to the outside. AP Secret is in second right now at that 49-1 number. But I mean, length and a half back. Absolutely no pressure around the first turn here for early voting.
I think, Andrew, you're the one that brought up AP Secret. This is a horse that I was a little interested in the Fountain of Youth to see how he'd run. I thought that could be a good stepping stone for him. And then, unfortunately, we didn't get to see him run his best effort. But
I liked him in a little bit that day. I picked him second behind In Due Time, pressing a moderate pace here. It's not like they're walking, but they went 23-4 to the quarter, 47 and change to the half. Early voting is getting the preferred trip, but it's not like he's going super easy.
We're getting some movement there from O'Donegal on the rail a little bit.
He's got. You go, Mike.
I was going to say, the one is trying to start to sneak through, but he's got a lot of work to do here.
He's going to have to find – Rosario's going to have to find – he's going to tip him – he's definitely going to tip him out.
Yeah, and here he comes.
All right. This is going to be – we're going to get the showdown because now you're seeing the 7 and 8 both kind of fall off here. Early voting. We're still waiting. Let's see. Jose's waiting to press go on this.
Yeah, Rosario going to go.
Oh, this is going to be good. Here we go. Come on. Get through, Mo. Get through.
Come on, Mo.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Come on. 316 cold.
Get up there,
Come
Mo.
on, Mo.
Come
on,
Mo.
Cold.
Come on.
Come on, Mo. Come on, Mo. Come on, Mo. Come on, Mo.
Let's go.
Yeah.
136. Come on.
Ooh. All right. I think, first of all, best Wood Memorial finish from a talent perspective, I think we've seen in what? Since Secretariat? Secretariat wasn't even in this race. That was the Gotham. What do we take away from this? I thought a very impressive effort from both of those. And Andrew, I'll go to you first.
I'm going to go on record as saying this. This is sort of my white whale to anybody that's been following me ever since I tabbed Commissioner 9 months before the Belmont as the next year's Belmont winner. And then that horse came up yay close. Mo Donegal wins the Belmont. That horse wants to go all day long.
You know what? I really liked Mo Donegal for the Belmont, and I thought what he needed was blinkers. I thought from what we'd seen from him, like given the known agenda treatment where the blinkers suddenly turn him into a Florida Derby winner. Doesn't need blinkers. I think that was a great ride. By the way, great ride from Joel Rosario. He weaved around in the far turn and cut the corner and was still on the rail at the top of the stretch. So he didn't go 5 wide. Mike, I thought that was a good effort there, but I'm sorry that he caught your top pick late.
No, it's fine. I mean, he tripped out, and I'm happy he caught. I mean, look, I didn't bet the win. I had them both going in the pick 3, so I'm fine with that. And honestly, I can't wait for this horse to take money in the Derby. Mo Donegal isn't winning the Derby, and so I'm happy he wins this race here. He's going to be one of your shorter prices in the Derby now. There was already hype on this horse going into this race. That's only going to become bigger here. He definitely tripped out. I mean, he was able to find a way to get through on the rail there, save some ground in that second turn, and get the job done. I think you're going to need a lot better effort, and he's going to have to maneuver through a lot of traffic in the Derby because he is not quick early, and there is enough speed and enough horses like White Abario, like Epicenter, that can make their own trip, and those horses are going to get first jump and be way ahead of him as he's trying to weave through horses to get going.
Vinny, I'll throw it to you. You recap of the race from the top 2 finishers, and then kind of talk moving forward for the Derby for both Mo Donegal and early voting.
Yeah, I mean, early voting got the trip that Mike said he was going to get. Mo Donegal just ran him down, but I agree with Mike. I don't think I want a part of either of these going into the Derby, just on the sheer fact of 1, there's other speed, so early voting is going to take the pressure, and 2, Mo Donegal seems like that kind of horse. He kind of seems like he's like a turf horse in the fact that his move has to be timed perfectly. Even in his wins, he's not winning by an impressive margin. I mean, Rosario timed that perfectly, so he got up in the last jump there. That's not winning that kind of effort is not winning the Derby. I agree with Mike.
I will say that's a good thing. And look, I understand times are whatever, and Aqueduct surface is incredibly quirky. They won 1 mile and an eighth in 1:47.4. That's fast. They were moving.
Agreed.
Now, as far as if he gets that kind of trip, I agree with you guys. Can we all come together on a scenario where Mo Donegal is 8-1 in the Derby, doesn't fire, they run him back in the Belmont at 19-1, and the horse wins and pays $40? We all good with that?
I'll sign up for 19-1 right now if I can get it.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
we're
I
getting
don't know
19 to
you're
1,
gonna
but I'll sign up for it right now.
agreed.
Good talk.
Agreed.
Good talk.
Yeah,
But you're
he
putting it
ran
out in the universe. I respect it.
he ran the race he needed to, but like it worries me that he's not like he's a horse that needs a target, and it seems like he has to have his move timed perfectly. You know, like if one thing didn't go right around that turn, early voting holds on. And that's what, like, in a 20 horse field, I don't see him getting it done, but he's going to take money Derby Day.
Mike, let's go back to early voting. You're picking this race, and he might have been able to hold on. He's a little rusty. We haven't seen him since the Withers, and that was 2 months ago. So, and he has just third career start here. So his fourth career start will be the Kentucky Derby. He's got speed. You have to assume that Chad Brown and Kalleward will want to send him there. Do you like his chances in the Kentucky Derby because he's got that very sharp early turn of foot?
No, not even a little. I mean, there's probably 3 or 4 other horses that are better than him from a pace perspective. Not only faster, but also just more talented. Look, I'm a New York hater on these prep races, so I'm going to keep fading any type of New York horse that needs these preps to be able to go through to get to the Derby. In this case, look, I think Classic Causeway is faster than him early. I think we're going to see a couple horses in New York or at Santa Anita today that are faster than him early. So all of a sudden, he's going to have to stalk versus be on the lead, or he's going to have to empty the tank to get to the front. That's just not a good scenario here for early voting. Look, this is. I mean, normally this is the weakest. I'd say Arkansas is probably worse this year, but this is normally the weakest from the prep circuits in my mind. And I think that, the fact that Mo'Donegal had to go here to win and the fact that early voting needed to be here to get the points tells me that I'm not going to play either of them in the Derby.
Final word on it, Vinny?
Morello, I think, finished dead last.
Yeah, what happened to him?
One turn.
Yeah, he's a one-turn horse.
Yeah, I didn't like him going into today either, but I definitely expected a little bit better of an effort than that because Safi's horses ran 3rd and 4th.
And they were pretty, at least I know AP's AP secret was pretty close there. And look at that. If you're still watching the Naira feed, you can see it was about a head victory there for Mo'Donegal. And Andrew, I thought you said it perfectly, a perfectly timed ride from Joel Rosario. Rosario, you would assume, is going to keep Epicenter as his mount. Irad Ortiz Jr., first time he hasn't been aboard Mo'Donegal. After what happened with Classic Causeway, do we think Irad's going to ride this horse in the Kentucky Derby, gentlemen?
Probably, yeah. It certainly seems that way. I'm happy we brought up Morello. Morello's a nice horse, but 2 turns just a little too far beyond his scope. That was pretty cool, and I'm pretty happy we were able to get 2 to 1 on that horse because I really thought Mo'Donegal was going to get bet down to about 6 to 5, 7 to 5, and I was prepared to take that because I thought Mo'Donegal was sitting on a pretty big race. One thing I do want to mention though, and that was that Mo'Donegal got pointed to the Wood Memorial before the Fountain of Youth. He came down with a slight temperature and was also drawn very far outside in that race and scratched. I think part of the reason they shipped Mo'Donegal to New York was because of Charge It in Florida. Now, Charge It ran a very good second in the Florida Derby, but I think it's telling just how much Todd Pletcher thought of this horse that had just broken his maiden, that he took Mo'Donegal, who's almost certainly going to be in my top 10 Derby rankings on the Pollock Report this week again, cheap plug, and decided to send Mo'Donegal up north to Aqueduct, and it turned out to be the right call. Charge It runs a good second in Florida. Mo'Donegal runs first in the Wood Memorial, and now they're both headed to the Kentucky Derby.
All right, speaking of Kentucky Derby, let's go to Keeneland because the Bluegrass Stakes is in a little under 15 minutes here, and we will at some point have Aaron and or Jared join us here for a report from Keeneland, hopefully before the races. But Mike, I'm going to step out for a minute. Take it over here. Talk to us about the Bluegrass Stakes and what you think about everything.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those races when I came into it, I was absolutely confused by it. This is one of those spots where everything I have, the metrics that I use point to either the 10 Smile Happy or the 4 Zandon winning for fun, that this should go 10-4 cold, except for the eye test, which tells me I shouldn't trust either of these horses. So I found this one to be pretty tough. Obviously, you have 2 Pletchers here. You've got the 1 Command Performance and the 6 Emmanuel, which are both kind of question marks. I think it's one of those spots where it's just you kind of throw your hands up with both these horses, not sure what type of effort to expect in this spot. Andrew, let's start out with you. Did you get creative here, or did you look at the 10 and the 4 and say, I'm just going to try and take one of these 2 and move along?
I'm going to get a little bit creative here because Smile Happy, horse number 10 in the program, currently your 9-5 favorite. Probably should win, but from a Derby points perspective, doesn't necessarily have to. He's got 30 at this point. That's probably enough to get him in. You take a look at Zandon, and look, Zandon ran very well in the Risen Star. I thought what came from dead last to be third and was beaten just a half length by Smile Happy. If you like one, you like the other. However, I'm looking at this tote board, and if you liked Emmanuel at all whatsoever in the Fountain of Youth when that horse was 5-2, you're getting 6-1. And it's not like Emmanuel ran badly in that race. He just had a horrible trip. He didn't break all that well. He got sent way wide. He made a middle move, and he got tired because it was his third career start. That stuff happens. I'm expecting an improved performance from him today. I'm also expecting a big run from a big price. I'm going to go way out on a limb here and say I wouldn't be surprised if horse number 5, Volcanic, winds up running a big race in this spot. You take a look at the track condition. It's a muddy track today at Keeneland. This horse has a very good off-track pedigree. By Violence out of a Pulpit mare. You look at the off-track record, only one prior race on a wet track, but that was in the hopeful, and it's safe to assume something went wrong that day because we didn't see him the rest of his 2-year-old year. This year, he beats Charge It by a neck in January. He then runs into Classic Causeway in the Sam F. Davis, and it's not like that was a horrible effort. It was Tampa Bay Downs. That's a quirky surface, and I wouldn't be surprised if that horse just didn't take to it. Volcanic is 45-1 right now. I think that's way too big a price.
Vinny, I knew that you were going to go with a Charge It angle once you started talking about Volcanic, especially if you like to Charge It in the Florida Derby. Obviously, you took a big-time step forward there. Vinny, tell me how much you don't like Volcanic, because you were laughing that whole time.
I'm laughing because I agree with him.
Oh, no, you're both on Volcanic?
Volcanic's to be fair, I think Smile Happy is going to win for fun. Personally, I think Smile Happy is going to win for fun. If something doesn't happen, if something goes wrong, I think, like you said, I think Zandon's the next one. Chad Brown does not ship horses here for Derby preps unless they're good.
See, good man.
I think, yeah, exactly. Like the fact that he sent Zandon here rather than keeping Zandon in New York, I've thought all year said something. They both chased Epicenter last time. It was basically got everything his way in the Risen Star, came back and obviously is impressive. So I think between those two, I think the winner is going to be one of them. But I can't believe Volcanic's 46-1. I really can't. The horse he's run good this year. He beat, like you said, you beat Charge It. The run in Tampa Bay wasn't bad. Classic Causeway had everything his own way. Especially with a little pace, I think he makes sense.
All right, so let me inject some sense into this broadcast. Volcanic has no chance. He would need to make the lead in this spot to be able to win. And I think who makes the lead is another question we can discuss, because I do think it's a little murky up front. I think whoever does make the lead has a shot, especially with the 12th horse Grantham scratching out of here, who I thought had a good shot at being your pace. Now you kind of look at this pace, and it's not anyone who really is going to press forward and take the lead. I think Volcanic runs the best early. I just sorted here the Equinedge pace metric. So this is saying Trademark's going to make the lead. Fenwick's going to sit in second. I kind of think Fenwick has a sneaky shot at maybe not winning the race, but at least getting up there at a number. He's currently sitting on the board at 13-1. I think Paco's sending Fenwick, and I think whoever makes the lead has a decent chance of hitting the try here, just because there's not that much speed. How do you guys see the pace setting up here? Were any pace horses interesting to you, but possibly someone trying to wire this field?
I wouldn't be surprised if Emmanuel gets gunned out of there by Luis Saez, because remember, he did not break well in the Fountain of Youth. From a pace perspective, I think that's a throwout. And this horse's prior 2 starts, he went wire to wire. I think he's going to go early at a minimum to try to avoid some of the antics, hijinks, and shenanigans that he wound up having to deal with last time out in the Fountain of Youth. I think Trademark is going to go early. Fenwick's probably going to go early. There's a little bit of pace signed on in here. I did agree with you that I thought Grantham was going to be pretty far up there, especially once that horse broke on the way outside. That horse had one option, and it was going to be to go. I do still think there's going to be some pace signed on here, as they are now on the track with about 8 minutes to post. I think Emmanuel is going to be very forwardly placed, though, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's your leader going into that first turn.
Vinny, what do you think about the pace setup?
I agree. I actually looked at this. It was either going to be Emmanuel or Fenwick on the front end. I do agree. I think whoever gets that lead might be able to hold on for a piece. I personally, I've been against Emmanuel all year. I don't think this horse wants any part of a 1.125 miles. So even if he gets a comfortable lead, I would not be surprised if he coughs it up midway down the stretch. Nothing about, in my opinion, nothing about his pedigree says he wants a 1.125 miles. So
to me, everything about his
him
says he's a turf horse. I mean, you see more than ready on top. You see hard spun on the bottom. Get this horse to the Belmont Derby. My goodness.
This is why I was completely against him last time out. I said the same thing. I said he was a turf horse and he probably didn't want to go 1.125 miles on the dirt. I don't see it. So I think he's going to be the pace though. I don't think after last time, I don't think Sias is going to sit this horse back. I think he's going to go right to the lead. Paco's always aggressive. Paco's going to try to send Fenwick. So I think that's your best chance for if you're hoping somebody comes from way, way, way back, that those two hook up and just go too fast early.
Oh, and speed hasn't been wonderful so far over this muddy going at Keeneland. So you are kind of looking for someone, I would say, sitting mid-pack or way back. Zandon might really get the trip here. I mean, you're sitting at 2-1 right now on the board on Zandon. Any interest at 2-1? What do you think the fair odds for a horse like Zandon to have to start hitting the win button?
7-2, 4-1-ish maybe. And look, I understand.
You're out on Zandon.
I understand why Zandon is getting bet. This is a horse that won first time out, ran Mo Donegal to a nose, and then ran third behind Epicenter. You get a horse like that trained by Chad Brown, that horse is going to take money wherever he goes. I understand that. I just have a very difficult time taking a horse that's still eligible for a non-winners of one allowance against what looks like a pretty darn good field in here at 2-1. Can Zandon win? Sure. He's probably the second or third most likely winner in this race. I can't bet him at 2-1.
Let's talk about who Lord is bringing up here, because I think this is probably one of the more interesting horses here. You're talking about not being eligible or being eligible for an and one. How about Command Performance? Currently still eligible for a maiden special weight. Hasn't gotten to the winner's circle yet. Has 3 seconds though. Has run against some pretty good horses here. Vinny, what do you think of Command Performance? Any chance this horse steps up and surprises at a 9-1 price right now?
I can't believe he's 9-1. I feel like I've been putting this horse in the winner's circle all week. I don't like him at all. I don't think he's that good. I don't think anything he's done is that great, because he's basically, in my opinion, he's getting bet off that second place effort to Jack Christopher, who we haven't seen this year, and he's yet to run back to that figure. I can't believe he's 9-1, especially after losing at what, one? Was he 1-5 or 1-9 at Tampa?
1-20 actually.
Yeah, and lost to Fenwick. Who's sitting on the board right now at 13-1.
Right. And granted, he should get more of, there should be at least a little bit more of a pace today for him to try to run into. But man, I mean, if you're betting him in this spot at 9-1, either you're all in on him or you're just betting Todd and Irad, in my opinion. I think this horse should be 30-1 personally.
I'm confounded by what to do with Command Performance. If the fact that I'm not a big Zandon fan, I'm not a big Smile Happy fan, specifically because of what our buddy Kevin's bringing up down here. It's hard for me to bet Lannery at 9-5, especially from the 10 post. So it's tough. And Command Performance is another one where you're just not sure what to expect. Both those New York races are good enough to compete with this field. It's the question of whether or not you're going to go back to them. One horse we haven't talked about yet here is the other Kenny McPeak horse. I actually interviewed the owner of Lucky 7 Stables over on the Racing Dudes YouTube page. Make sure you check that out. I think he was higher on Rattle and Roll coming into here. McPeak actually called him up and said, this horse is ready to fire. We need to run him back quickly. Let's send him to the Bluegrass instead of waiting a week. So the 9 horse Rattle and Roll, either of you in any interest here with getting a much better price at 12-1 versus the 2-1 on Smile Happy?
I think there's some appeal there. I mean, those who follow me know I'm a big fan of the other insert trainer here angle. And why is trainer X running horse B if horse A is all that well meant? But I do think there's a little bit of desperation here with regard to time ticking away a little bit with Rattle and Roll, who we know likes Keeneland. And I can't fault the connections for taking a shot here as opposed to the Lexington. Because look, it's a grade one for $1 million as opposed to the Lexington a week later, which is a fraction of the purse and a fraction of the stature. I thoroughly understand that. And you are getting a horse that likes this surface. We'll see if he can handle a wet track. We know that this horse had been working lights out ahead of the Louisiana Derby when he ran fourth behind Epicenter and Zozos and Pioneer and Medina. Depends how much you like that race as far as how much you like Rattle and Roll. It wouldn't shock me. I think maybe he needs a little bit more pace than he's likely to get. But if this horse clunks up for third or fourth, would I be surprised? No. If you're looking for a value play, I think there are worse options there. As far as value plays go, though, I'm in on Volcanic at 47-1. My goodness, that's just way too big a price, I think.
All right, Vinny, we're about 2 minutes out. They're starting to walk to the gate. Are you attacking this race from hey, I'm going to bet this specific part, play exactas, trifectas? You looking at any of the daily doubles or pick threes? What do you think the best way to kind of go after the board here is?
I mean, if you're against Smile Happy and Zandon, I feel like playing a win and an exact is probably the way to go with the way the board is. I mean, especially if you don't like those two. Personally, I like Smile Happy, so I'm gonna play him over a couple horses, and I'm gonna hope I can beat. I have Zandon on my pick 5 ticket covered, but I'm gonna try to beat Zandon in the exacta, and I'm just gonna play Smile Happy cold over a couple horses, including Volcanic and Ethereal Road, who I can't believe is 11-1 right now.
So are you gonna use anyone else in there? Just Smile Happy over Volcanic and Ethereal Road, or anybody else, Vinny?
I think just those. I think I'm just gonna go with those two personally. I don't like Rattle and Roll at all. I haven't liked Rattle and Roll all year. If he beats me, he beats me. I agree that I wouldn't be shocked if he gets third or fourth, but I don't think that horse has been good all year. So yeah, I think just those two. Smile Happy over Ethereal Road and Volcanic, and hope I get lucky there.
Andrew, we're about to walk into the gate here real quick. What are you punching in?
Sure, I'm swinging for the fences here. I'm not playing a ton because you can't like Smile Happy at 9-5 with those odds or Zandon at 2-1. I'm boxing Volcanic with those two and Emmanuel, and I've got a small win play on Volcanic as well. If Volcanic gets home, you're going to hear me screaming regardless of if I'm on it or not.
I threw something on Rattle and Roll to win. I think 11-1 is a good price here, especially after talking to the ownership group. I think 9-1 is interesting on Command Performance if you like him. I don't love this race. If you listen to the Magic Mike show, I was pretty confounded by it. So I'm not going to put a bunch of money into it. I'm live to the 1, 2, 4, 6, 9, 10 in the pick 4. So hopefully we can close that out, and the 1, 4, 9, 10 in the pick 5. So I'll be watching more than anything. I think this break is going to be pretty interesting, and whoever's able to get the early lead will kind of tell a story here. Magic, I see you joined us here. Who do you like here right before we get out of the gate?
I like Zandon, but at a price, Rattle and Roll. Yeah, those are the two horses I use in Magic Mike show, so that's what I like here.
And we are into the gate for the $1 million Toyota Bluegrass, and they are off, and they're all wearing white saddle cloths, just to spite us.
Oh my goodness! Why?
And Emmanuel is going to make the lead here. So Emmanuel is going to go out and try and get to the rail here on the first turn, getting some slight, I'd say, token pressure on the inside. But it looks like Emmanuel is going to be able to get out front and control the early pace with a big price here in Volcanic, right? No, Golden Glider sitting in second there. And then right to the inside is Volcanic.
Along the rail. I like the saving ground trip here.
Smile Happy already in the clear.
Is in third?
He's just... I really, if he's as good as advertised, he's about to roll past this field with this position.
Emmanuel's could be tough sitting up there if they're able to go slow enough. Speed hasn't been great today, but if they go slow enough there, he's going to be dangerous. They go 48-2 for the opening half mile. We'll see here exactly when we decide to push the button, or Landry decides to push the button on Smile Happy, but it definitely one of those trips where you think you're going to make it. Zandon shuffled back to last now and in some traffic trouble. So Zandon's going to do a lot from
Rattle and Roll. I love where Rattle and Roll is at because he's a big horse that needs to have room, and he has been clear and he's circling wide, and Smile Happy is being put to the test and he's not moving necessarily, but Rattle and Roll is keeping going. You just got to keep that horse's momentum going. Boy, who's moving here? The blue cap there in the middle.
I can't tell. I think that's Zandon who's trying to get out now.
Boy,
Smile
Zandon is
Happy.
trying his ass off. Smile Happy's got the lead here. Who is coming
Who's
after him here? Who we got
Is
coming?
that Zandon? Is that
Is
Zandon?
that no?
Zandon on the outside.
Is it?
Yeah, that's Zandon.
Yeah, that's
Zandon.
Zandon who's
Come
gonna
on,
run
Zandon.
down.
There he goes. There he
410.
goes. Good job, Zandon.
410.
Good job.
Yep.
Good job.
Chad chips his good ones there.
Mhm.
It was between those. It was between those two.
Yeah.
Yep.
Vinny, I think Volcanic just finished. That was
Yeah.
I couldn't complain with the ride into the first turn, but the second they started pumping at about the 7/16, I sort of knew we were out of gas there. But
Yeah,
that was
me too.
run there by Zandon. Smile Happy did what he had to do. Emmanuel, I thought, set an absolute dream trip there. If you were Team Emmanuel, you couldn't complain at all whatsoever with the early fractions of the trip. Just third best.
Yeah, Zandon ran monstrous there, considering got shuffled back to the back of the pack there, then had to weave through traffic, had to make some bumping, and we're watching the replay now. You see him starting to move here around the turn.
He was inside those horses.
And Emmanuel held for third. Like,
Yeah.
like,
out there, he just got.
yeah,
And you got
he held for
you
third.
gotta- that was a phenomenal ride by Pratt, by the way. I mean, to save so much ground around the inside and then be able to kind of split and just find room. He never gave up ground around the turn. I mean, Pratt earned his money on that one.
Yep.
You know what would have
He
been
did.
made this race better? Is if we had different colored saddle cloths so we could have figured out which horse was fucking Zandon in the stretch.
Yeah. I gotta watch the replay because like he was, like you said, he got shoveled back to last. They turned for home, and all of a sudden he was already there.
That's
Yep.
why I was like, is
Like,
that
I
Zandon
want to see,
moving?
yeah. I would like to see. Like I briefly saw the 4 on the side, and that's where I was like, oh, that is Zandon. But I want to see this move from Pratt again because, I mean, I was when they came off the turn. When they came off the turn, I'm like, okay, well, Smile Happy's got the lead, and all of a sudden Zandon had already caught him.
It looked like Smile Happy's going to win for fun once he went by. By Manuel, and man, he just rolled. Zandon just rolled down the middle once he got loose.
Yeah, and that's I mean, I know we just said that we weren't completely sold on Mo Donegal for the Derby, but the Remsen though, the Remsen producing
This might be the
200
best
point
renewal of the Remsen in about 40 years.
right? 200-point prep winners coming from the Remsen, like.
Well, I'm excited to bet against both those horses in the Derby. We've seen 3 horses today that I can't wait to bet against the first Saturday of May now.
But command performance nowhere to be found after just an irrational entry, in my opinion. But Golden Glider though, at 59-1, getting 4th. I don't know how many points that gives Golden Glider, but he's got to be on the bubble now, right? Probably low on the bubble.
He
but
was 5th in the Davis, so that's nothing. He was 4th in the Tampa Bay Derby. I'm not
5
sure.
or 2 or something. He's got to be in the teens for points now. I mean,
I don't think that's enough.
No, he's definitely very low on the bubble, but you never know.
Anyway, that was something by Zandon there. That was a heck of an effort by that one. You had Smile Happy running second, who I thought ran fine. And Smile Happy, it should be noted, is going to make that third start off the bench in Kentucky. I have to think this was the plan from the jump. And obviously, you want to win $1 million Grade 1 race, but I don't think they're too upset about that.
I don't think so either.
Do we think Lannery's on him in Kentucky?
I mean, I didn't think the ride was bad on Smile Happy. I mean, you put Smile Happy in that kind of first flight dream trip on a moderate pace. Maybe he was a little bit wide. I just think he was the second best horse today. I don't think you can attribute that to Lannery.
Yeah,
No,
I think that's a great point. I don't think this was Lannery. And Rattle and Roll was completely empty after getting the right ride that you wanted to see from him. And McPeak's not getting rid of Hernandez. You know what? Yeah, this time we won't blame Lannery. Next time, we can blame Lannery next time. You bet him in the Derby, then you can blame Lannery, or you should just look in the mirror.
It is a bit like, if you're a Smile Happy fan, though, I mean, compared to the trip that Zandon got, I mean, that was, you couldn't, even around the first turn. I mean, he sat perfect.
Yeah, Smile Happy outstripped Zandon there.
Not only did Zandon win going away, but he had a much tougher trip. I don't think I would play Smile Happy back in the Derby. I would rather play Zandon, who I know is going to have traffic trouble.
Gentlemen, any final thoughts on this race before we move on? We got a little bit of time to kill here before we get to Anita Derby. Yeah, well, we got half an hour. Yeah.
I promise I will never give out Volcanic again.
I tried to warn you. I tried to talk some sense in the two of you.
You know, Volcanic had the trip that I think Vinny and I both liked. And honestly, after about, 3/8 or a half mile, I was thinking, I'd take Smile Happy over Volcanic. That wouldn't be bad. But then Adam Beschizza pushed the button and there was just nothing there. If you watch that horse drops anchor in the truest sense of the word. And I got to tell you, I'm happy we're putting up the Carter right now because this is a heck of a horse race right here.
Yeah, this is an awesome one. I wanted to pull it up. It wasn't one that we were planning on covering, but anytime you have a grade 1 going with Speaker's Corner, has been absolutely phenomenal so far this year. Thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to at least talk about it. We've got about 2 minutes to post here. I think Speaker's Corner is a legit favorite. 4 to 5, it may be a little thin if you're trying to pound that win button. I think that the 1 reinvestment risk and the 2 green light go are a little bit interesting here at a price of 6 to 1 each. Vinny, I know you're a big New York guy, obviously living in upstate New York there, always at Saratoga. So you know these horses pretty well. Any interest in anyone outside of Speaker's Corner here, or do you think this is just the 8 and move along?
I actually like First Captain a bit. I like Mind Control a little bit. I think it might be a little too far for Mind Control. But First Captain was a horse that last year he was running very good. He came back in his start this year, ran very well. Speaker's Corner just seems to be on a different level, though. But those are the other 2 I'm interested in here. I do like Green Light Go, but I don't think he's that great, and I don't think reinvestment risk is up to par with Speaker's Corner. So I'm actually trying to beat him with First Captain.
First Captain for Vinny. Andrew, you going to try and get around Speaker's Corner here?
Yes, I am. I respect Speaker's Corner. I think Speaker's Corner is a very good horse. I can't bet him at 4 to 5 in here against a pretty darn good field. I've been a fan of Green Light Go for a very, very long time. This is a horse that back in 2019 was one of the top 2-year-olds on the East Coast. And it's refreshing to see a horse that was a top flight 2-year-old sticking around to race at 5. Obviously, this horse has had his issues, but you take a look and you see a horse that has blossomed as a 5-year-old. That win 2-back where he earned a 101 Beyer speed figure was very, very good. He came back and he won the Stymie over a next out winner. This is a class test, but you look on the board, you're seeing 6 to 1. If Green Light Go wins the Carter, you're not going to get 6 to 1 again on him for a very long time. You know he absolutely loves this track. You know he has enough tactical speed to get the lead, but that he can sit if you ask him to do that. Now 7 to 1. I'll take that all day, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to pile on the Green Light Go train here. If I was going to try and beat Speaker's Corner, which I'm going to do in my tournament here, I'm going to use the 2 Green Light Go. I love it when you have a horse that has been going a mile and getting the lead, going 7 furlong type fractions, that then cuts back to 7, because they usually have something left in the tank when someone tries to run at them late. I think this is 2 or 8. I'm going to personally go with the 2 just because of the price, but I respect the heck out of Speaker's Corner as well. He's been phenomenal so far this year.
Green Light Go was a first-round pick of Team Dynasty in our first year in the Racing Dudes Triple Crown League.
The Dynasty draft points you're looking for here.
Yep. Get some points a few years later with Green Light Go.
So we are loading into the gate here, and I appreciate them using different colored saddle cloths up at Aqueduct. It makes our lives a lot easier. Keeneland, take notes. This is a fun race, too. I think this is one of those the races that really starts to prep for the Belmont and then the Saratoga seasons. I'm glad we're able to cover this one kind of right in the middle here. As they walk into the gate, let's see what happens. And we are off. Green Light Go didn't break as sharply as you would hope. Bank on Shea is going to go right to the early lead. Mind Control right there with him as well. I'm surprised Mind Control is this forwardly placed early.
I feel like he's one of those horses he can kind of run from wherever. And like if he breaks well, they send him, because I feel like he does have some races on his past performances where he does show early speed.
You got 4 horses stacked up for the lead here. With reinvestment risk on the inside, you've got, it looks like Mind Control in the middle. Bank on Shea decides to back out of it. And you've got Speaker's Corner, your 3-5 favorite, who is going to take the lead here going to the top of the turn. Green Light Go is starting to do just that and press the go button coming around the turn. I have a feeling we're in for a 2-horse race here, or maybe a 1-horse race, depending on what the 8's got. But it looks like it's 8-2 is going to 8 and the 2 are going to mainly contest this spot.
Well, First Captain has a little bit of run, and you've got another horse coming from the back, but Speaker's Corner looks like he's going pretty good here. And if you like Green Light Go, you won't want to see that.
Oh, Speaker's Corner about to open up. Yeah, he's going to open up here. Yeah, goodbye.
That's a really good horse.
So where do we put, we saw 2 nice 7 furlong efforts here. Obviously, Prevalence winning down at Keeneland, Speaker's Corner winning for fun here at Aqueduct. What do you guys think of these 2 horses? And we got, the Forgo obviously up at Saratoga that I bet they're both pointing for. Who do you like right now if you had to pick one or the other? Speaker's Corner or Prevalence going 7?
Speaker's Corner.
Speaker's Corner, and I think they might meet sooner than that. That mile on the Belmont Stakes undercard, that's always a really good race. Personally, I am begging, and I mean begging, the connections of Express Train to cut him back to a 1-turn mile with no Baffert monsters looming. I always thought he was better going 1 turn than 2. Please, John Sheriffs, if you happen to be watching this, and please, for the love of God, if you're watching this, why, when you probably have better things to do, please, please, please cut Express Train back to a 1-turn mile. That horse, I think, has been begging for that kind of a trip.
That mile's shaping up to be phenomenal. I think both of those horses, both Prevalence and Speaker's Corner, I think, are heading there. Hey, Speaker's Corner has just become a monster.
And you've also got Fearless, who Speaker's Corner did down in Florida. All Fearless did was come back and run a hole in the wind at Gulfstream. It wouldn't be so shocked to see that one there.
Yep.
There's a lot of very good 1-turn horses right now going the 7 furlong in the mile distance. It makes that division awfully interesting. So the Carter winner here, Speaker's Corner, it goes 8-1-4-2 for the super there. Reinvestment risk actually re-rallies to get up for second. So a nice effort there from reinvestment risk, but really not anywhere near as good as our winner there, Speaker's Corner, who gets the job done. We got one major prep left for the Derby, and we're about 21 minutes out. This is what I thought shaped up to be the most interesting of the prep races today, and the most likely to produce an actual Derby winner here. We've got Forbidden Kingdom, who has won back-to-back preps, beating multiple back-teen horses, or Yafferts, if you will, and now faces 3 additional Yafferts in this spot with Messier, Teva, and Armagnac all showing up here. First off, I think that what we got to talk about is the pace, right? I mean, Forbidden Kingdom is going to try and go right to the front and absolutely blitz these horses. It's what he's been able to do the last 2 efforts. Can anyone go with Forbidden Kingdom? Andrew, what do you think?
I think a horse will try, and I don't think it's any of the ones with a shot. I think Armagnac was entered as a rabbit. I think the tactics are going to be very, very clear. Go as fast as you can for as long as you can with this horse, and hopefully try to soften up Forbidden Kingdom so that Messier or Taiba can stalk and pounce. I think Forbidden Kingdom has a world of talent. I think this is a major, major class test for him. I don't think he beat anything in the San Felipe. It shocks me that Forbidden Kingdom is 4-5 right now and Messier is 8-5. I thought those would flip. I think Taiba's also got a real live shot. It wouldn't shock me if Forbidden Kingdom won by 10 and proved to be a legitimate super horse. It also wouldn't shock me if Forbidden Kingdom ran 4th.
Vinny, what do you think about the early pace? And in Forbidden Kingdom, I think is really going to be the linchpin of what you do and what you bet is what you think of Forbidden Kingdom here.
Yeah, I mean, Forbidden Kingdom, I feel like I think I commented during the Magic Mike show earlier this week. It's either Magic Mike or it was Blinkers Off. I forget which one. If Forbidden Kingdom doesn't break super sharp, I don't think he's asked for much. That's the one thing about handicapping this race that I think is tough, is that they're not going, like, you know, if like, say, like Taiba is sent out like very hard to the lead, I don't think they're going to kill Forbidden Kingdom to just run a sub 23 to just make the lead here. He's got the points for the Derby. So that's my one concern about using Forbidden Kingdom here. I thought the entrance of Taiba was very interesting, but if Messier runs that 103 buyer, he wins. So at 8-5, I think he's the value play.
Yeah, I'm shocked by the board right now. I've been a Forbidden Kingdom hater for a while, so I'm going to try and fade Forbidden Kingdom here and hope he misses the board. I thought Armagnac was going to rabbit last time and tried, and Johnny V just didn't kind of keep pushing for some reason around that first turn. If Forbidden Kingdom was able to clear, and the problem too for Forbidden Kingdom is Doppelganger came back with not much of an effort in the Arkansas Derby as well. So if Doppelganger is the best horse this horse is beaten, I have a couple concerns around that as well. And I agree, 4 to 5 seems like a really, really short price here on Forbidden Kingdom. We got Aaron jumping in. What's up, Aaron? How's it going from Keeneland?
Man, it's going great. Can you hear me all right now? I'm kind of in a quieter spot.
Yep, we got you good, man. How is it snowing there still, or is the weather turned for you?
Man, the weather is finally, when the sun comes out, it's actually a little bit warm. Yeah, it's been fun, man. The whole atmosphere today has been crazy. Even though that the weather's been terrible, doesn't matter. Tons of people here having a good time. Everybody really was fired up for Golden Pal. I don't know, like that. I don't know if you guys were live for that. Wow, that was unbelievable. And then I think it's a bluegrass that we kind of thought, right? Smile Happy, Zandon kind of looked like the horses to beat. I thought, I've only seen it once live, haven't seen the replay. You guys could probably tell me better. Did Flavian Pratt give that horse just the perfect ride? It seemed it for me. I mean, it looked unbelievable. I picked Zandon. I bet Zandon. I watched him, and I'm like, that was magic. How did he do that,
It looked like he was in trouble when he got shuffled back going into that final turn. And Pratt just weaved a beautiful, beautiful story right through those horses, was able to get clear. There was even contact with the two horses outside of him, top stretch, and somehow he got through with no issues and was able to run down Smile Happy pretty impressively. How was that turn of foot in person? Did he just, once he got cleared, he just zoom right on?
I'm probably a little biased because, like I said, I bet the horse, picked the horse, so I thought it was amazing. Yeah, it was crazy. It seemed like he went from last, and trust me, I was cussing the whole backside. Like, I can't believe he's last. And I also bet Morello, and he was last on the backside, so that was great. But anyway, it seemed like when he made that move, he went from 10th to 3rd, and it was like, whoa, that was big. But my biggest thing was he's going to flatten. He'll get into that spot, and then he won't be able to kick on. But, yeah, he really did. And we were sitting right where he kind of got past Smile Happy. It was like, wow, he left him in the dust. I don't know Smile Happy's trip. It looked like he was wide. Again, you guys can kind of talk about it a little bit more than me. But it did look like he kind of got a little bit of a rough trip as far as just being hung out a little bit wide. But Zandon definitely, he finished with a lot. And I don't know about you guys. I thought Emmanuel was going to win this race during it. Like, unopposed, 48, looked comfortable, and just kind of threw in the towel a little bit.
Yeah.
Smile Happy. Yeah, we were commenting similarly that we didn't know who was going to make the lead, and then all of a sudden you see Emmanuel do it, and you're like, oh boy, this could be trouble here. Especially, and you mentioned Smile Happy was 3 wide, but really no excuse. I mean, he had no traffic trouble. If you're the best horse, you kind of have to win from that trip, especially considering the trip that Zandon got. So I mean, he tripped out comparatively to Zandon and what Zandon had to go through to be able to get the job done. Speed hasn't been holding that great on that track. Do you think that was part of the reason you saw that from Emmanuel? And even Smile Happy, he was on the lead, really, or close to it.
100%. You're 100% right. It really hasn't. We just haven't seen a gate to wire winner on the dirt. I don't think you guys. I don't think there has been. Turf, obviously, we've seen one with Golden Pal, but yeah, maybe that was a little bit. I think Emmanuel, what's he got? 25 points. Maybe he gets into the Derby. I don't think he's going to make an impact either way. Yeah, I mean, I agree, Zandon. It's just like he probably shouldn't have won from there, but it's just a situation, guys, and it doesn't make sense that a New York guy would point to the bluegrass, but Chad Brown's best horses come to the bluegrass and they fire most times. I mean, think about Highly Motivated. Holy cow. That horse ran so good here last year. I don't know that he's that good of a horse. He just fired here. Good Magic obviously fired here, and then Zandon today with just a huge, huge race.
We've got about, let's see, what is it, 10, 15 minutes here to the final prep of the day, the Santa Anita Derby. Well, we got you here, Aaron. We've got people who are against Forbidden Kingdom in this room, it sounds like. What are your feelings on the Santa Anita Derby? What do you think from a pace perspective? Is it a two-horse race, or can someone else get in there for that exacta?
It's a weird one, right? Tabor really just threw everything into a mess because you just don't know what he's going to do. and how he's going to handle everything. To me, I think it just makes sense that Teva goes out and is just naturally fast enough to kind of be with Forbidden Kingdom, kind of pester him early. I think it sets up for Messier to just kind of sit off of him. Like I tell you guys, Adari Manor, and I don't know if you guys were live for that one, that horse didn't run near as well as she did the time, the last time when her and Messier ran those big races. So it kind of gives you a pause for concern a little bit. I'm a big Messier guy, but I was also a big Adari Manor guy, and that was not good.
Yeah, the early returns on the Yaffert horses have not been great so far. Do we have to start be concerned that these new Yafferts aren't going to fire?
No, I don't think one race is enough, but maybe two, right? Forbidden Kingdom, last time I saw, is he still the favorite in this race?
Sitting at 4-5 right now. Messier on the board at 8-5.
I got to bet everything that maybe I just made on Zandon on Messier if he's 8-5. I mean,
just tick down to 6-5, but sitting at even money on Forbidden Kingdom, 6-5 on Messier, 9-2 on Teva.
I can't imagine they go off anywhere different than about even money, 6-5 or 4-5 even money, something like that. So I'll ask you, what happened to Morello? We watched on the phone.
One turn.
No, okay, I get that for sure, but why was he last? I guess is what I'm asking.
He had a little trouble out of the gate. He didn't break as sharp as you would have hoped, and then just kind of didn't really run after that. So you might be able to say it's due to the break. I kind of agree with Andrew that he might just be a one-turn horse versus a two-turn horse. But he was. I mean, he's never been on the lead before, right? He's come from 4 or 5 lengths off in the past. He was further back today, but it was definitely not what we were hoping for or what you were hoping for as a Morello better there.
Well, I don't disagree with the one-turn comment either. I just would have liked to seen him be somewhere where we could see if he could do anything. Like, he was just awful in this race. So, that was disappointing. But I don't know about you guys. It's like Mo Donegal, he kind of did what I thought he would do. And I thought Morello could do better, obviously, for sure. But Mo Donegal just kind of, he gets that long stretch, he can close, right? I mean, he wasn't bad. I don't know if he's a Derby horse as far as winning it, but he does kind of have that feel of a horse that can hit the board there for sure.
Yeah, and Rosario gave Mo Donegal a great ride. I mean, he was able to save some ground in the second turn, cut inside, and be able to just kind of run down early voting there late. And Matt brings up a good point here. Messier is favored in the double. So Messier is $16 in the double, $21 for Forbidden Kingdom. So we should see a slight favorite in Messier when they actually break from the gate.
Okay, well, that makes sense. I mean, it makes sense that they're close, right? What's Taba now? Is it like 5-1 still?
Taba's sitting on the board at 9-2, and in contrast is $51 in the double. So 3x both of the other two prices.
Okay, wow. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. That horse, it's a lot to ask, right? I know he's really, really good. It's just a lot to ask. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't be shocked if he wins. I wouldn't be shocked if he just kind of says, ugh, I don't know why they put me in this race this early. We'll see.
I'm personally going to try and run Forbidden Kingdom out of the exacta, at least, maybe even to try and create some value here, because I think you got to get rid of either Messier or Forbidden Kingdom. Either you're betting one to win, or you're not playing the two of them in the exacta. If you play both of them in the exacta, you have to hammer it cold in a specific order to have any shot at making some real money here. So I'm going to try and get Forbidden Kingdom out of the exacta. Aaron, if you went with the exotics here, what are you thinking from a win play show perspective or try perspective?
I mean, me personally, I'm taking that Zandon money and probably just sitting on it. as far as betting a try or something, I just don't know what you can do unless you're just going to, like I said, I'm going to take a shot against Forbidden Kingdom, or if you're going to choose Messier, I would choose Forbidden Kingdom to take a shot against and try to do something like Messier over Taba over Happy Jack straight. You don't want to box anything. You don't even want to have two horses on top of three. Really, in my opinion, you just kind of got to play an opinion straight here. Play it for $5-10 and or whatever your bankroll wants to allow, and just kind of do it that way. It's a 6-horse field where 3 horses stand out huge over the others. you're playing against one of them. You're just kind of hoping they stop, right? They're pull a Nashville, as we're going to start calling it, because that was one of the worst races I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, he quit pretty hard there. Vinny, if you're trying to run someone out here, is it Messier or Forbidden Kingdom? And do you think it is possible to run either of them out of the exactas?
I agree with you. I think it's Forbidden Kingdom. I do think it's possible. I mean, even though I think personally, I think Forbidden Kingdom is a better horse than Messier. I mean, Messier lost to Slow Down Andy, and I don't think that horse is good at all. So that's where I'm kind of at there. But value-wise, I'm going to use the two I'm going to use Messier and Taiba with the two Yafforts and just play a try. Just go those two and try to win for a day, home for third.
And Andrew, what about you?
I'm playing Messier to win on even money. I just think above even money on a horse that I've been high on for a long time, that seems like too big of a price. And remember, Messier and Forbidden Kingdom locked up once before, and Messier made pretty short work of that one. Granted, that was going one turn as opposed to two, but if you've got stamina concerns with Forbidden Kingdom, isn't that a good thing? So I'm going to go Messier Taiba in a Dave Weaver style ice tactic.
I like that style. I'm 4-6 here as well, so I'm going to play 4-6, and I'm going to play the 4-6-1 tri-cold, see if we can get a nice little price there in the third spot. The thing with Forbidden Kingdom is that his biggest competition has never been close to him in these races. I think that the Messier has enough tactical speed here that he's not going to be 15 lengths back like Doppelganger was last time trying to make this wild move. He should be at least within range around that second turn to be able to run down whoever's up in front of him. And like you said, Andrew, Messier was able to get the job done last time these two faced. And as far as the loss that he took to Slow Down Andy, horse is 0 for 2 at Los Alamitos, and that's really the reason I'm willing to kind of give it a pass there, just because that Los Alamitos form, I talk about it all the time, it almost favors turf horses just because of the way that track plays. So I'm hoping that's the reason that Messier wasn't as impressive that day.
Yeah, I agree with you with that. It still just bothers me that he lost the Slow Down Andy.
Hey, Slow Down Andy won the Sunland Derby. That's a tough race to win, that Sunland Derby.
Right. You gotta remember that it's still a race to enter.
It's Slow Down Andy's the Derby, man. What do you want?
We'll see Slow Down Andy on the first Saturday in May.
I already have a side bet with my one buddy that he finishes in the back half of the field.
So. Here is since I'm in Lexington, I'll do some Lexington on track coverage here. Bye Bye Bobby, the runner-up of the Sunland Derby, is going to run here next weekend, supposedly in the Lexington. So, hey Vinny, what if Bye Bye Bobby wins the Lexington? Then what are you thinking about Slow Down Andy?
I still no. If he wins the
here.
Lexington, yeah. If he wins the Lexington, okay. Hopefully, if he wins the Lexington, he's actually called home correctly this time.
Well, we'll see. That horse might have a little bit of talent. He's just kind of wild. So they're coming on here. I'll try to position my camera where you can see this place.
Yeah, are you in the pat? Oh, you're going out of the track. Yeah, they're going on the track for what is that? The 11th over there or 10th, right?
10th race. Yeah. So I'll position it there so you don't have to see my ugly ass. You can see these horses. So, they got two races after the big one here, which is kind of cool. This place is kind of cleared out a little bit. We can kind of enjoy it because it's a huge crowd today.
Yep.
Despite the weather being awful.
And anyone you like in that race there, Aaron?
Let's see here. Hold on, I'm very distracted. We've got drunk college kids. Look, I mean, these last two races, I thought were kind of your wide open ones. They ended here. The stakes looked chalky, and they definitely came out to be that way. I liked the 4 a little bit in this spot. I liked the 1 a little bit, and then the favorite, the 11. I like him enough. We're gonna have to include him. Maybe try to play him in like the second and third spots over the 1 and the 4 for a little exacta or try action. But nobody you really love in this race, I don't think.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty wide open when you take a look at it there. That looks like a pretty nice day, actually. I mean, I'm sure it's a little bit chilly there, but then the wind's blowing. But it's never a bad day when you're at Keeneland.
It is very cold. That was a 7 that just came on your screen there. Super dormy. I think I had that horse in 4th. I mean, honestly, when the sun comes out, it's not bad. But like as you can probably tell, it's not sunny right now, and it is freezing. So I'm gonna go inside here in just a second and leave you guys because I can't feel my fingers at the moment.
Well, thank you for joining us, Aaron. Appreciate the on-track coverage there, and enjoy your Zandon money.
Yeah. Who knows? I may just go out and drink all night. You know, I don't have an 8-hour drive tomorrow to get home, so it'll be fine.
Whoever's the drunker tonight gets to sit in the passenger seat, right?
Yeah. Well, last week that definitely would have been Jared sitting in the passenger seat. So we'll see if it's me this time. I don't know. We're kind of behaving. We had a rough one last weekend, boys, but we're back. We're feeling good. So this is it. This is the last stop on the Derby Trail. So maybe we'll go crazy tonight with that Zandon money. I don't know. He was only 2-1, Somich. I don't know how many drinks I can buy with it, but I'll try.
Well, I don't know how much you bet on him. 2-1's good if you bet enough.
Well, hey, that's between me and my diary. How much I bet on it, Somich.
Thanks for joining us, Aaron. Appreciate it,
All right,
and get home safely. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Yep. Have fun, guys.
All right, we are. What are we here? We're just 2 minutes here from the Santa Anita Derby, so we're starting to get up to it. This is going to be interesting how they kind of pop out of this gate. We're getting 4-5 right now on Messier, 3-2 on Forbidden Kingdom. So Messier definitely taking all the money. It's interesting here, as Alex noted, $87 in the pick 3 here to Forbidden Kingdom, $233 to Messier. So the pick 3 heavily favoring Forbidden Kingdom, even though he's not the current favorite on the board. I think this first furlong is going to be very interesting, whether or not Armagnac can go and keep up with Forbidden Kingdom, or if it's Taba. I mean, Taba's coming out of a sprint. Where do you guys think Taba's going to end up placed here going into the first turn?
I think Taiba has enough of a chance to where the instructions aren't going to be go with Forbidden Kingdom. I think Taiba is going to be sitting in the second flight, and I think if anyone goes with Forbidden Kingdom, it's going to be Armagnac. Now, if Armagnac can keep up, I don't know, but I think his sole purpose for being in this race is to keep Forbidden Kingdom honest for the other two. I mean, we saw Taiba's maiden win. It was exceptional. That's on your channel. If you haven't seen it, take the minute really quick, go watch it. It was really freaking good. I don't think they send Taiba on a suicide mission.
Vinny, do you think Taiba's going to be forwardly placed, or are you expecting Taiba to kind of sit behind Forbidden Kingdom and possibly Armagnac?
I mean, I think Smith is going to try for the lead with Taiba, but if he gets out, if Forbidden Kingdom breaks better, I think Smith is going to be happy to sit a length or two behind him. That's kind of the Mike Smith thing to do, isn't it? To treat every horse basically like there's Zenyatta. So if he breaks on top though, I would not be surprised if Smith just tries to keep him there. But if he gets out broke, like I would not be surprised if we see that patented bold middle move by Mike Smith to challenge for the lead with Taiba.
0 minutes to post, Magic. What are your thoughts here? Loading up. Do you think that Forbidden Kingdom is the one that's gonna be able to get the job done? Or are you on the Messier train?
Listen, my whole thing was I'm going to believe in the horse that is the better odds in this spot. And right now, 3-2 Forbidden Kingdom. That's it. So I'm going to believe in the speed holding. Boy, no, I can't do that. I'm going to stick with Messier, despite the fact that the efforts are kind of misfiring so far. I think this was the best one of all of them anyway. So, or at least the most potential. Forbidden Kingdom, Aaron made a great point after he won the, what was that last race? The San Felipe. He made a great point that the time to play that horse stretching out is when he's going from 7 furlongs to the 2 turns, not from a mile and 16th to a mile and an 8th. This is the time you're not going to see that big improvement anymore. So I'm going to stick with Messier here, but it would be great if a former Bob Baffert trainee with Mandela beats a former Bob Baffert trainee with Yak Team.
I just think it's kind of telling that, I mean, Forbidden Kingdom's my race horse. So yep. you got all these people betting into him for his grade 1, and he's still not the favorite right now. And I get the double, and that's why, I'm not putting, he may win here, but, I know people were showing that the discrepancy in, the doubles and pick 3s and stuff. I kind of can't pay attention to that when you have one of these my race horses because so many people are betting on them. So I think it's kind of telling that he's not the favorite, and you've got what 5,000 people that have a part share in him betting on him today.
Well,
Yeah.
in fairness, well, the one thing I will say is they're loading in the gate. It's a bigger race day, so the pool's going to be bigger, which minimizes the impact of that. If you've got hundreds of owners and they're betting $2 to win, that does something different on a Thursday than it does on Santa Anita Derby Day. So
That's true.
I think maybe that's a difference between Kingdom being 9-5 and 2-1 to being the 3-2 he is right now.
That's
They
true.
are all in the gate here. We're going to see what happens early, and Armagnac is going to send and decides to go out 2 paths toward Forbidden Kingdom, but Forbidden Kingdom still going to clear Armagnac pretty easily. And Drayton Van Dyke pulls back on Armagnac, and we're going to see Taiba sit right to the outside, but Messier is going to track right in behind the 3-horse Forbidden Kingdom here going into the first turn. So 3 horses right up on the lead, and none of them are Armagnac.
Yeah,
Forbidden Kingdom. You got that. He's even money. Listen, the better priced horse ended up being Messier. Look at that, 6-5 now.
Okay.
As there.
I bet Messier. I'd take 6-5 all day on that horse.
When he was
Well,
4-5 going in.
We are shaping up just as a match race here, right? I mean, Forbidden Kingdom in the lead, Messier tracking a length and a half back. Taiba, if good enough, could win from there, obviously. But, I mean, this is really just – this is going to be these 2 horses going at it down the lane now, you'd expect.
Yeah, he slowed it down for that second for the up to the half too. He might be tough to, unless Messier is very good. This is going to be, I think he's going to have a tough challenge trying to run him down. They went sub 23 and then they went almost 47.
We haven't seen either ass. They're letting out the reins a little bit on Messier. He's starting to pull within a half length here.
Taiba's moving.
Taiba's making a run too, and he's going to.
There goes Messier.
Is Taiba going to split? Is that what the plan? No, he's going to go 3 wide here.
No.
Yeah.
And
He's got
Kingdom
He's got horse though. He's got absolute horse though. Are we really? He's got horse still.
He's trying, but Messier seems to be pulling away a little bit here.
I don't know. Taiba's moving. Taiba's moving.
Tight. You're right. Taiba's going to get him.
Taiba's moving.
Taiba got it, boys.
Taiba's moving. Dude,
That's a freaking justified move.
That is a monster.
Woo.
How far is Messier ahead of the 3rd place horse?
About 10 lengths ahead of Happy Jack for 3rd. Matters to some.
Gentlemen,
that might be.
Might have just seen the Derby winner.
100%. 2-star goes from a maiden to a grade 1 and wins like that. Whew.
That was very impressive.
Whew. That is disgusting. That doesn't happen.
Go throw up.
That's the thing. And you got 4 to 1. You got 4 to 1 on that.
Well, there was a lot of question marks. To be fair, I think 4 to 1 is about fair odds there.
Yeah, but you got 4 to 1 on a horse that on debut ran 103 buyer. That's pretty good. I get all the question marks, but if you told me that next time out you were going to get 4 to 1 on Taiba after that maiden race, like you would have said it was crazy.
So I think this brings up the interesting question now. What are we going to see on the Taiba at Churchill on the first Saturday in May? Is he going to be your 2nd choice, 3rd choice? Where does he fall in the line now?
If this comes back at least the 99, I think this is your favorite.
Over Epicenter.
Yep. If this is over, if this is a triple digit, 100% over Epicenter.
Wow.
In my opinion, I would rather bet Epicenter because of the experience, but that if this comes back a 103 or a 104, like there's no way this horse is not your favorite.
Magic, what do you think?
Good for them.
You're not happy about Taiba, huh?
Here's the thing.
It's right now is an Olivia Rodrigo song.
This isn't even a Baffert thing.
I love the
owner. I hate the owner even more than I hate Baffert. Congratulations. Great. Medina Spirit's owner, who was laughing about the horse being dead when he was at Saudi. Yeah, great. Congratulations. You won the Grade 1 Santa Anita Derby. The horse you've spent $1.7 million on. Betting wise in the Santa Anita or in the Kentucky Derby is gonna be interesting because you have a horse that on debut was at 6 furlongs. Now it goes a mile and an eighth, but I mean now we're gonna go a mile and a quarter, and he's got a stalking trip, but I'm with Vinny. I still want Epicenter over Taiba, especially if the odds are comparable. I still think Epicenter is going to be favored, but I think Taiba just made himself what, second choice? I mean, what have we seen from Arkansas or Florida that made you go, yeah, it's got to be that?
I think you got to respect White Barrio. I do think you're probably going to see second or third choice, though. I think it's going to be tough for Epicenter not to be the favorite, just based on how everything's gone from a prep perspective. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens after that, because you've got, obviously, Xanden's going to take some money now. I think you're going to see a lot of money go on Mo Dongle as well. But I would expect the Taiba is going to be above both of them when it comes down to it.
All right. Actually, what happened to Forbidden Kingdom? I didn't see.
It folded.
Yeah, he ended up running last, didn't he? Or second last?
Yeah. But at the same time, though, I mean, I don't think he's. I mean, they're still obviously going to point to the Derby if he came out healthy. But once he started taking pressure, they weren't going to kill him in this spot. So I'm curious. I would be curious to watch the replay, and when Messier pulls alongside, if Hernandez knew he didn't have a lot of horse, if he just wrapped him up. I didn't see. I wasn't watching that, but it would be. Yeah.
I hope you're right, because I hope people try and make an excuse for why they should bet him back in the Derby. It's another horse I want absolutely no part of.
I 100% agree with you, but it would be interesting to see if, like, as soon as he got past there, if Hernandez just wrapped him up and just got him home safely rather than trying to fight back on the inside.
Taiba goes 3 wide, both turns, rebreaks, mid-stretch off 6 furlongs. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to say. And the worst part is I love that horse's pedigree too, but God, I'm not a fan. I'm with you, Magic. I'm not a fan of the ownership.
I want nothing to do with it.
Exactly right. No excuse for Messier there. I thought Messier ran very well, just second best.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if you took a shot on Taiba, I mean, if there was something you liked at 4-1, I'm not poo-pooing you if you handicapping wise. This is really just a personal thing. But no, I'm glad Mr. Tux, I know you'd show up a lot for our live shows, so I'm glad you got some money. All right, we'll wrap this up here. Let's see. Taiba's obviously going 100 points, 40 points for Messier. He also had 10 for winning the Robert B. Lewis, and I think 4 for the Los Alpha.
He didn't get any points. He's got 4.
Thank you for
reminding me. He's got 40.
Back. So 40. So he's in. Maybe Forbidden Kingdom. We'll see what happens out of that one. But as it stands, we've now seen every Kentucky Derby prep race that's worth 100 points. We're not going to count the Lexington next week. So, gentlemen, as it stands right now, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who is your Kentucky Derby pick? Vinny, I will start with you first.
My Derby pick, I'm going to go with Epicenter still.
Got to vote for Epicenter. Mr. Champagne.
Epicenter as well. I thought his Louisiana Derby win was exceptional. And, he can get 1 mile and 3/16 with no problem. So I think 1 1/4 miles is well within his scope.
Mike Somich, before we go to Aqueduct.
Give me Taiba.
All right. 3 votes for Epicenter and a crazy person who's on the controls and is going to switch us over because we've got the Gazelle Stakes. We've got one more race. And thank you so much to everybody who's joined us for this hour and minutes. Really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. We have the Grade 3 Gazelle Stakes, the last 100-point Kentucky Oaks prep race here at Aqueduct. Real quick, your picks, Vinny.
I'm very curious how Venti Valentine comes back. She's had a lot of hype. I've been a fan of her. That's my pick. I know it's chalky.
Andrew's going with the 6 Classy Edition. Mike, where are you going?
Venti Valentine, but I think the One Morning Match is interesting.
That's going to be 3 votes for Venti Valentine. All right, they're in the gate. We'll see what happens here. And we're off. The Venti Valentine, nice right to the lead and a nice relaxed move by Manny Franco. By the way, Mike Somich, did you hear we're going to be getting Final Furlong stable hats? Venti Valentine's owner is going to be sending us some hats.
I love it, man. We got to get the interview too if she runs off the screen here.
When she runs off the screen here. Looking good. So you got the 5 there. Andrew, this is going to be a slow race for these fillies going mile and 8.
Yeah.
Talk to us why you like the 6 Classy Edition here.
Sure. So as I go to my past performances here, because I want to make sure I get this right, I really like Kathleen O. I think she's an incredibly classy horse, and Classy Edition was 2 lengths behind that one in the Devonadale. This one likes the Aqueduct surface. The pedigree says 2 turns isn't going to be a problem, and I knew this horse wasn't going to go favorite. I would gladly take 9-5 in this spot to get something resembling value on this horse. Joel Rosario is going to give the horse a nice trip, and I can't complain with the trip that she's getting. So, here we are, 9-5. I'm okay with this so far. We'll see if Venti Valentine can get the 1 1/8 miles, where she came up just short in the Demoiselle 2 back.
Yeah, and two Nest, who we saw yesterday win the Ashland Stakes very well in hand, and a 92 buyer for that. So Tyler Pletcher winning that race. Back-to-back years. It's looking good for Venti, but she's coming under a little bit of a drive. Joelle hasn't moved on the 6, but I don't know. Is she going to keep here? We'll see what happens. We're at the quarter pole.
The 7 is looking interesting at a monster number 21 on the outside. You've got Nostalgic trying to get through on the rail at 3-1.
Come on, Venti. Come on.
Venti's holding. She's
watching that rail horse.
No.
Watch that rail horse.
Rail horse. Rail horse got her.
Gonna nail her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. That was
four ran up for third.
Great effort from Nostalgic there. Wow.
The Mott.
Yeah. Back-to-back wins at 2 turns on dirt. The horses raced exclusively at 2 turns. Broker Maiden on debut. Well, no, actually, that's not true. Belmont was a mile on the 16th. That's 1 turn. And then went straight to the Demoiselle, where she was gaining 4th, we can call that. And then one last out very impressively with Jose Ortiz aboard against optional claimers at Gulfstream Park. Daughter of Medaglia d'Oro out of a Tappet mare. Go Dolphin Red. Very, very impressive. Very nice ride. Nice trip, though, right, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, she kind of tripped out there on the inside, and it. I'm kind of impressed at how fast they got that last furlong. They came home in 12-1, which is a pretty solid here for the distance. A couple of the rest we've seen, though. I'm not really sure I want to put these on the list with Kathleen O and Nest and everyone else that we've seen in this division, and how well some of these have run. Echo Zulu and a couple others, obviously.
Yeah, she's a speed horse, and now we just add another speed horse to the Kentucky Oaks mix. You've got Echo Zulu, you've got Hidden Connection, you've got Ugiri will try to go to the front. A lot of horses that need the lead, and then you've got now Nostalgic, who comes from off, and of course Kathleen O. So I guess we've kind of talked this one down. There's a couple of strong horses here, Nostalgic and Venti Valentine. So we'll wrap this up with our Kentucky Oaks picks as it stands here now that the Gazelle is over. Mike, I'll throw it back to you. I know what your answer is going to be. Who's your Oaks pick right now?
Roll up the O, baby. Kathleen O by open lengths.
By open lengths, Mr. Andy Champagne.
Echo Zulu thinks she needed the race last time out. I think she moves forward in a big way, second off the bench with the race that they've had circled since she broke her maiden at this place back here.
Listen, she's still undefeated. It might not have been pretty last time, but a win is a win is a win, and they don't count. They don't care how much you won by when you get in the Hall of Fame. So we'll see what Echo Zulu. I'm with you too. I think she should at least improve off of that Fairgrounds Oaks effort. Vinny, who is your Kentucky Oaks pick right now?
Kathleen O.
That's true. You cannot spell Oaks without the O. So that's 3 for Kathleen O. Andrew, since you didn't have Kathleen O as your answer here, let me ask you, where does she rank in your top 5 that you can soon find at Pollock Report?
Second. She's very, very good. I like her a lot. Personally, I think this year's Oaks is miles and miles more interesting than the Derby, and the Derby's not bad. It's just that I think we've got some really special horses in this 3-year-old filly division. I still believe Echo Zulu has a mountain of talent. Kathleen O, though, when Shug gets a horse really, really good, they tend to stay really, really good. And I wouldn't be surprised if we wind up with a situation where they go sub 23 to the quarter, sub 46 to the half. And I think the guy above me would be smiling very, very wide if that happened to be the case, given how enthusiastic he was about Kathleen O earlier. Open lengths, you said, Mike?
By 5, baby. No, maybe not 5. Yeah, I think she wins by open lengths. I think she's that good. I think we still have not seen the bottom. She went 3 wide, and 1 for fun last time without really trying. Got tapped once around the turn, and it was ridden literally was probably told in the paddock, "Hey, don't get in trouble. Just go wide and just beat the crap out of this field." That's exactly what she did. She's done nothing wrong and just keeps getting better and better and better. And so she's my pick for that first Friday in May.
And Adari Manor made it easy for me to take her off of my number 1 spot after just appearing there. So thank you, Adari Manor, for that one. Thank you to everybody who's been watching. We really appreciate it. It's been so great. Before you leave, if you can leave us a thumbs up, we really appreciate it. If you're watching the replay, I'm not sure why, but hey, thanks so much for doing that. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on the race. Really appreciate that. Mike Somich and I will be back on Monday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on youtube.com/Racing Dudes to recap everything that's happened this weekend for Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks prep action. I want to thank our 2 guests, especially Andrew Champagne and Vinny Blunt. Thank you guys so much. You're always welcome to come back. You were great guests. A lot of fun talking horse racing with you, and I hope you guys had some fun too.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Mo Donegal in particular was very, very good for me.
Yep. Agreed. That ended up being very good. One of the more profitable live streams I've been on with you guys.
Glad to hear it. Glad we could help you make money, and hopefully we helped you at home make some money too. So once more, thanks for joining us. For Mike Somich, Andrew Champagne, Vinny Blonde, I am Simply Magic. We'll see you over at racingdudes.com. Good luck, and like I said, Mike and I will be back Monday. Take care, everybody.
This has been a presentation of racingdudes.com, your destination for all things horse racing and sports betting. Whether you want free winners, expert insider picks, up-to-the-minute trackside weather reports, or podcasts and videos for bettors of all skill levels, never make another wager without visiting the Racing Dudes. First,